What's up? I had other videos planned, but mentally, I've just been kind of a little bit. So because of that, even though the videos were like really interesting topics, they were just coming out really, if that makes any sense. So let's just have fun instead. Go ahead and wish me a happy birthday. That's right. As of August 29th, I am officially 23 years old. And no, I'm not happy about it, but we're here to talk about that. We're going to be looking at this Buzzfeed article because we love suffering. And yes, of course, I got this idea from Cody Ko's series where he looks at those, this isn't Cody Ko's merch. This is Eddie Burback's. I don't know why I'm holding this up, I guess. Maybe it's a bit of a forewarning for what we're about to experience. But before we get into that, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video. Me. Well, not just me. The video is actually sponsored by Honey, but right now it's about me, okay? I have merch coming out, or it's out. Buy my merch. Okay, so at this point, you should all be quite familiar with this crochet bee. You may not have known unless you've caught my live streams before that he has a name, Beangelo. My little sister saw him in a crochet book and she was like, this will probably look really good in your room. And she was right. She was quite right. So I knew when I designed the merch that he had to be incorporated some kind of way, but that it also had to be something fitting to my channel specifically, but that I would also wear. So I am proud to announce that I've teamed up with a company after burning through a bunch of other ones because the quality wasn't high enough and I wasn't about to sell crappy hoodies. And I now present to you the Who Cares D'Angelo Wallace merch hoodie. This thing is so high quality, okay? Would you please take a look at this? The entire design on the front is embroidered. We have this cloud print. It's quite ethereal. And I'm proud to announce that this is my exact design that I created. The merch people were able to effortlessly translate it into a high quality $60 hoodie. And so now basically you need to buy it because, I mean, bro, look at it. Think of it as a birthday present. Yes, I'm using my birthday to sell more merch. The merch is available for a limited amount of time and it's at d'angelowallace.store, or just look for the link down in the description box and get your merch today. And also, don't worry, I am, of course, giving my sister a percentage of the profits. Anyway, that's about it for the merch promo. Let's go ahead and look at this BuzzFeed article. 23 reasons nobody likes turning 23, which I already agree with. Number 1, turning 23 means you're at the bottom of the 20-something totem pole. You know what? I think I agree with this as well. Like when I was 20, I was still 19, if we're being honest, okay? And then when I turned 21, it was just quirky, right? It's like, not to be extra, but low-key, I'm old enough to purchase alcohol in America legally. Then I turned 22, and I feel like that's the first age where you actually are in your 20s, and you're not in your fake 20s, like 20 and 21. So everyone just felt bad for me. But now that I'm 23, there's nothing remotely special about this age. I'm literally just an adult man. With no XP. I am simply too old to be a teenager. Number 2, you're expected to have your stuff together, but have none of the resources required to get your stuff together. Why don't they teach you how to file your taxes in school? No, answer me quickly. Why do they not? What do you think is more important to me, or even more useful to me in this exact moment? Trigonometry, or knowing the difference between a W-2 and a 1040 without Googling it every single year? Number 3, you're confronted with a million options regarding what to do with your life, but none of them look particularly appealing. You know, actually, I will say I kind of do like my options. I am fortunate enough to have a whole lot of people who enjoy the things that I enjoy creating, so that kind of does give me infinite possibilities, which I will be exploring quite a bit, especially next year. So I did sort of luck out when it comes to that particular point, but I try not to think about it because I feel like if I do, I'll wake up and realize it was all just a dream that was too good to be true. Number 4, if you're still on your parents' insurance, you have 2 more years to get sick before you're pretty much toast. Let's not talk about health insurance in this video because the plan I have doesn't cover the amount of stress that conversation would cause me. Number 5, for the first time, being in your 20s really sinks in and it's terrifying. I did actually have the thought recently, if I break the law, I'm going to jail by myself. If I damage something, even accidentally, I have to pay for it single-handedly. If I get really, really sick, I have to take care of myself. So basically I stopped thinking recently because it was all starting to get a little bit extra. Being 23 means you're officially older than so many of today's pop stars. This is actually something I think about a lot. And you know what? Let's go to the Billboard Hot 100 charts and take a look. All right, so I am in fact older than The Kid Laroi, Olivia Rodrigo, Lil Nas X, Billie Eilish, Roddy Ricch, I'm older than Polo G apparently, and Olivia Rodrigo several more times. You know, I'm not even out of the top 40 yet, so I just think we're going to stop taking a look at the Billboard Hot 100 chart and move on. And you're so far from being a teen that you stop speaking their language. A big part of me wants to say that's not true. I'm only 22. Oh god, I'm 23. I'm only 23. You know, I'm on the internet. I get a lot of comments from people of all ages. I know how teenagers talk. You know, I tell myself these things several hundred times a day, but then I open TikTok and it all just exits. I have no idea what anyone there is saying at any given time, and it's all just a little bit I can prove it. You know, let's pull up TikTok right now. Okay, so like, because I don't follow anyone, TikTok just shows me random viral videos from famous people. And so here we have Kylie Jenner, and one of the top comments says, POV, first time she's on your FYP. So I do know what that means. I do understand that that roughly translates to, I didn't know Kylie Jenner was on TikTok. Did you? However, it did take me a solid 2.5 seconds of thinking before I realized that that's what it was saying. So that's about 2.5 more seconds than it would have taken me to understand any slang when I was a teenager. So yeah, I do think I'm a bit far gone in that regard. Thanks, BuzzFeed. Anyway, now that we're halfway through the list, I'm going to take a quick break and look at our sponsor. Wait, actually, 8 is not half of 23, is it? Well, anyway, it is now. Today's video is sponsored by Honey. You may have heard of it. It's a free browser extension that scans the web for coupons anytime you're about to buy something. They support over 30,000 online stores of all kinds. It's almost like I forget just how many 30,000 stores actually is until I'm just on some random site trying to buy something and Honey pops up like, hi, remember us? Would you like a coupon? I'm over here getting money off things I didn't even know I could get money off of. My favorite by far is getting money off of something that's actually really close to me and greatly influences the way I see the entire world, aka my glasses. See, look, here's the price just as I expected, but then Honey swoops in and look at how it drops. All I had to do was press apply coupon. Seeing how easy it is in action, it's no wonder that Honey has already saved its 17 million plus members over $2 billion on their online orders combined. And since it's completely free, it's time for you to join that number. Otherwise, you're just passing up on savings. Go to joinhoney.com/D'Angelo, where you can download the free browser extension in just a few seconds. And then sit back and let the savings begin. That's joinhoney.com/D'Angelo. So follow the link in the description today. Seriously, if you ever meet a teen and tell them that you're 23, they act like you're the oldest person on the planet. Oh gosh. Okay. So for context, my younger brother, he's still a kid. He's a teenager, right? He was telling me about this website he was on. And he said, D'Angelo, it looked like they hadn't updated it since you were born. It's that old. And I was like, okay. Like, without a hint of malice, he used my age to refer to something being 23 years out of date. And in that moment, I realized, oh yeah, that does make it very old, doesn't it? So that was a very terrifying experience. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Number 9, there's nothing really new to look forward to on your 23rd birthday. This is actually weirdly true. I didn't turn old enough to do anything that I wasn't already old enough to. I could already drive. I can still drive. I could already purchase out. Like, what was really gained besides me just aging by a year? Completely unprovoked. Number 10, there's nothing new to look forward to besides hearing everyone you know sing that song. Ah yes, What's My Age Again by Blink-182, featuring the famous lyrics, and that's about the time she walked away from me, nobody likes you when you're 23. So many people commented that on Twitter when I mentioned I was turning 23, that I I made a mistake. Number 11, which to be honest is probably the root of all your anxiety about turning 23. You know, honestly, I do think I would feel a little bit better about this experience if that Blink-182 song just blinked out of existence, but what would I know? Number 12, actually, you know what? That Jim Carrey movie was also pretty weird. Okay, so today I learned that there's apparently a Jim Carrey movie called The Number 23 and that it has a whopping 56% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm assuming it's a documentary about turning 23. Number 13, you're self-conscious about being one of the youngest members of the workforce. No, honestly, being a YouTuber at age 23 is just kind of disappointingly predictable. Age-wise, I think this is quite normal. Number 14, but you're still constantly surprised to find out how old your peers at work are. I mean, it's not like I can sit here and name names since my peers are literally like also known YouTubers. So, you know what? Okay, if I had to give one example, I will say Cody Ko's age did shock me a little bit. I know the internet says that he's only 30 years old, but I recently found out that the man is actually number 15. 23 is also the age where most people meet their spouse. Bruh, forget meeting your spouse. My mom had me at age 23. She gave birth to a whole child. Now that I'm 23, I can't even look after my Animal Crossing island. And I'm scared to open it. I mean, low key, shout out to my mom, you know, for doing that, because I am here now. So there is that. However, I just don't vibe with that for me right now, if that makes sense. Number 16. So you really have to start making some decisions about dating down. Okay, look, I'm just speaking for myself here, okay? But do let me know if you have this experience as well. Ever since I entered my 20s, everyone who is even a day younger than me is 12. Sorry, I don't make the rules. You're just, people come up to me and they're like, I'm 20. And I'm like, but you're 2. That's all I have to say about that. Number 17, because let's get real, you don't want to get roped into hanging out on campus with your significant other. You know, honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with like having a significant other who's in college while you're graduated from college. It's pretty standard stuff. However, can we please talk about people who are my age who have significant others who are still in high school? You're paying taxes and she's in math class. This is a little sus. Number 18, but dating older people also makes you feel like a poser. You know, honestly, I think I hold my own in conversations with older people pretty darn well, but that's not because I'm like wise beyond my years or even remotely mature, which I'm not. It's just because I have moments of being so incredibly boring that the only time someone could possibly find me interesting is if they are much older than me. Number 19, if you're 23 and in grad school, life is hard enough for you without even going into the whole age thing. If you're in grad school at all, just blink twice if you need help. Like, bro, I took one look at that syllabus and I was like, you know what? A bachelor's degree is pretty good. It's good enough. We're gonna stop right here. Number 20, because whether you have a job or don't, are in school or aren't, the one big thing about being 23 is that you have more responsibility. Okay, nope, screw that. Number 21, so you feel like now's the time to stop acting like a kid. You know, honestly, I don't feel like that. I still play video games instead of working. I still complain about adults who I feel like don't understand me. And, you know, I'd prefer when my mom makes this dish, but since you made it for me, I guess I'll eat it or something. Number 22, but you're essentially the baby version of a real adult. This is probably the thing I resonate the hardest with. I literally do feel like a baby man. I'm an adult human being, a grown up, but that just happened 5 minutes ago and also without my permission. And I already feel like it's been too much, you know? Let me skip forward to being elderly when everyone finds me wholesome and adorable, and we can just call it a day, okay? Number 23. So for those of you about to turn 23, we salute you. It's the freshman year of adulthood. Well, I mean, I did have a 3.8 GPA during my freshman year, and then it fell further every single semester. So not sure how I feel about that analogy. Thanks, Buzzfeed. Anyway, I guess now that we're through this whole list, all jokes aside, I do feel that turning 23 has given me a lot of things to think about, but I don't feel like thinking about those things. So we are at a bit of an impasse there, but I think we're going to be fine. Anyway, before I go, there's actually something I need you to do for me. So I'm almost scared to mention it again because it's getting so much bigger than I expected. Everyone says, oh, I didn't expect this many people to be interested in this. There are 169,000 people subscribed to an empty channel that I created, because I told them that I'm going to be posting my secret project there in 2022. I unironically did not expect that many people. However, I do need more. So your job is to go in the description and find that channel. If me turning 23 after feeling like I turned 22 last week is anything to go off of, time goes a lot faster than we think. And my project, it's happening quite soon. And I can't wait for you to experience it. It's going to be sick. It's going to be cooler than turning 23. That much I can guarantee. But yeah, no, I do have plans of taking over the world, and all 169,000 people over there are involved, and you are also part of that plan as well. So go, don't ask questions, just subscribe.